Good Shabbos. Although this week's parsha is Vayeshev, I would like to give a talk in memory of my father, Rabbi Yitzchok Kerzner. And this is actually the talk that I was going to give the morning that he passed away 2 weeks ago, Parshas Vayetze. Parshas Vayetze has Yaakov striking out on his own. And it's right after the portion before where he literally steals the blessings from Yitzchok, his father. And there's much to do about the fact that everyone wants to get the blessing from Yitzchok, his father. So it's interesting to follow through and see what happens with that blessing. And what does the blessing actually mean to Yaakov? Now, Yaakov goes out on his own. He earns his own money. He works hard. He creates wealth for himself by working for years and years by loving his father-in-law. And we could say that although he did get a blessing from Yitzchok, in the beginning of the portion, he also gets a blessing from God. And again, you could claim that the fact that Yitzchok gave him the blessing is the reason why God gave him the blessing. In other words, Yitzchok is giving a blessing that he has inherited from his father, Abraham. And now, Yaakov is the recipient of it, and being a recipient of blessing means that God will bless you. And therefore, God blesses him. But it's very interesting to note a difference between Yitzchok and Yaakov. Yitzchok doesn't really get a blessing directly from his father, but he does get blessings from God, and he does actually literally inherit the wealth of his father. When the servant of Avram, Eliezer, goes and finds a wife for Yitzchok, what he says is to the family is that my master Avram has given everything he has, all the wealth he has, to Yitzchok, his son. So Yitzchok was not just inheriting a theoretical blessing, an idea, but he actually inherited an enormous amount of wealth from Avram. Yaakov, on the other hand, doesn't seem to inherit the wealth of Yitzchok. Yitzchok is a wealthy person. He runs away. Esav seems to become very wealthy, whether it's a result of being in Yitzchok's household or on his own, it's not clear. But Yaakov and creates all the wealth for himself without Yitzchok doing anything. He comes back, and when he's ready to meet Esav, many portions, a couple of portions later, what does he do? He says, here, take some of this money that I have, take the blessings that I have, he calls it a mincha, an offering. And one time he says, Kachna es birchasi, take the blessing, because I have so much, I don't need anything more. And Esav doesn't want it at first, and says, Vayiftzar bo vayikach, he presses him and he takes it. So Yaakov seems to have a lot of wealth that he's created for himself. So what was the importance of the blessings? Again, the blessings might just be that God is with you, but perhaps there's something else going on here. And it's not just receiving something from your father, as Yaakov received from his father. It's just not that he received a blessing which gave him money. Perhaps, as I've said other times, when Yaakov receives the blessing, he's really getting what you'd call almost a psychological boost. He's getting the confidence that is gained when he sees that his father believes in him. And you might ask, his father didn't believe in him. He believes in Esav. He thought Yaakov was Esav. But everyone will tell you and note that, yes, but after he found out that Yaakov was not who he said he was, he didn't retract the blessing. He didn't give it to Esav. In a sense, what he was saying was, I realized that Yaakov, who wants to go out on his own, and he's determined enough to come and actually steal the blessings, he's the type of person that will be able to follow through in life and take the blessing that I'm giving him and make something of it on his own. And that's exactly what happens with Yaakov. Yaakov goes out and he makes it on his own because he's given the confidence, he's given the support, he's given the nurturing that he has in his father's household is sufficient to let him go on. And when he gets a blessing from God, I like to say it's not that God is actually therefore now giving him wealth. God is telling him, or he's understanding that God is telling him that you could earn it on your own. You have the power, you have the ability to work hard and to create, of course it's not just wealth, it's a life, it's a full life. He has wives and he has children. he creates what you call a malucha. Sort of, he becomes the Klal Yisrael, he becomes the Jewish nation because he was working so hard and he strove for what he got. So, I think of it in very personal terms. Yitzchok and Yaakov happen to be my father's name and my name. My father's Yitzchok and I'm Yaakov. So I, in a sense, try to relate to this particular parsha, and it has more meaning to me than maybe to most people. And especially at the time when that parsha was actually read, was the day or the day after my father passed away. And the way I like to look at it is that my father did give me a blessing. The blessing my father gave me was not necessarily material wealth, although my father always took care of me and I never really needed anything that my father didn't help me with. So no complaints on that part. But what my father did give me was the confidence to move forward in life. Whether I took that confidence and work with it as much as I should is a question other people could ask. But that's what my father imparted to me and to my other siblings. He gave us the ability, he gave us a role model. He gave us something to look up to. He gave us a vision. He gave us an ideal. He gave us a dream. As my father always used to always said that, a person is defined by the dreams that he has also. He liked to say by Yaakov that when he first dreamed, when he was leaving the house of Yitzchok, he dreamt about malachim, olim v'yardim, angels going up and down. And when he leaves, he's dreaming about sheep and wealth. And my father always used to like to say that was the time for Yaakov to leave. When he realized that his dreams were now just about material possessions and gaining wealth and riches, that's when he realized he doesn't no longer belongs in the house of Lavan. He belongs back in the house of Yitzchok, where the dreams were more of an ideal. The dreams were visions. The dreams, and that my father gave me were dreams of how to help people. Again, not that I've been as successful as my father. My father, as I realized all through my life, and especially through the Shiva, that my father touched many, many people's lives. And there's much that he gave everybody. And that's what he gave his children also. That memory and memories of that which he accomplished in life. And the fact that you could start with literally nothing and you could develop a life full of blessing, not just for yourself, but an overflow blessing. And that's how a lot of the commentaries describe blessing. Blessing is an overflow. It's God is overflowing his goodness on you. And when Yitzchok gives a blessing to Yaakov, his son, he's really saying that there's more here than just the material wealth. There's more here than I've created. It's something which overflows to other people. It's like the commentaries like to say about the lights, the lights of the menorah and light in general. Light is something which it doesn't diminish of itself, the light, but it gives to other people. It shines forth and it brightens the lives of other people. I would say that in memory of my father, that my father really kept to that ideal. He brightened the lives of many people over many, many years. And I hope that that light will never diminish and that we will be able to carry it on for many years to come. Good Shabbos.